travel agent looked up from his desk and saw an older lady and an older gentleman peering into the shop window, where there were posters of glamorous destinations around the world. The agent had had a good week, and the dejected couple looking in the window moved him to a rare feeling of generosity. He called them into his shop and said to them,
"I know that on your pension you could never hope to have a holiday. So I'm sending you to a fabulous resort at my expense, and I won't take no for an answer."
He took them inside and asked his secretary to write 2 flight tickets and book a room in a 5-star hotel. The older lady and gentleman, as could be expected, gladly accepted and were off. About a month later, the little old lady came into the travel agency.
"And how did you like your holiday?"
the agent asked eagerly.
"The flight was exciting, and the room was lovely,"
she said.
"I have come to thank you, but one thing puzzled me. Who was that old guy I had to share the room with?"
Ma is in the kitchen fiddling around when she hollers out,
"Paul, you need to go out and fix the outhouse."
Paul replies,
"There ain't nothing wrong with the outhouse."
Ma yells back,
"Yes, there is. Now get out there and fix it."
Pa moseys out to the outhouse, looks around and yells back,
"Ma, there ain't nothing wrong with the outhouse."
Ma replies,
"Stick your head in the hole."
Pa yells back,
"I ain't sticking my head in that hole."
Ma says,
"You have to stick your head in the hole to see what needs fixing."
So with that, Pa sticks his head in the hole, looks around and yells back,
"Ma, there ain't nothing wrong with this outhouse."
Ma hollers back,
"Now take your head out of the hole."
Pa proceeds to pull his head out of the hole, then yells,
"Ma, help! My beard's stuck in the cracks in the toilet seat."
Ma replies,
"Hurts, don't it?"
I had a blind date last night with a girl I met on a dating app. The problem was, she had no profile pic, but then neither did I, and I consider myself quite handsome. So I was concerned. What do I do if she's really unattractive? I'll be stuck with her all night. Well, as it turns out, there's an app for that. It's called Mom, Are You Okay? It schedules your phone to ring just after you meet your date. If you like him or her, you ignore the call. If you want to cut the date short, you can answer with something like, "Mom, what's the matter? Are you okay?" The description said that it works every time. So I knocked on the girl's door. As it turns out, I needn't have worried. She was gorgeous. My eyes were in a realm of happiness like never before. I couldn't get over how beautiful she was. Just as I was about to speak to her, her phone rang. She excused herself to answer her phone.
"Mom, what's the matter? Are you okay?"
John visited his 70-year-old survivalist grandpa who lived off the grid. On the first morning of the visit, John's grandpa prepared a breakfast of bacon and eggs. John noticed a film-like substance on his plate and asked, "Are these plates clean?" His grandpa replied,
"They're as clean as cold water and get 'em. Just go ahead and finish your meal."
For lunch, Grandpa made hamburgers. Again, John was concerned about the plates, as his appeared to have specks of dried egg on it. "Are you sure these plates are clean?" he asked. Without looking up, Grandpa said,
"I told you before, them dishes is as clean as cold water and get 'em."
Later, as John was leaving, his grandpa's dog started to growl and wouldn't let him pass. John said, "Grandpa, your dog won't let me get by." Grandpa yelled to the dog,
"Cold water, go lie down."
An ex-husband and ex-wife are in court fighting in a bitter custody battle over their child. The judge asks the woman,
"Why do you feel you deserve custody?"
The woman says,
"I brought that child into this world. My child literally came out of me. That is why I deserve custody."
The judge nods his head and says,
"That is a simple and logical reason. It makes sense."
Then the judge turns his head to the man and asks,
She said her side of things. Why do you feel you deserve custody?
The man sits in his chair and slowly drinks from a can of Coke. Then he holds up the empty can in his hand and says, "Was this my Coke or my ex-wife's Coke?" Confused, the judge says,
I believe that was your Coke.
The wife is also confused, and the judge looks over at her and asks,
Was that your Coke?
The ex-wife says,
No, it was his Coke.
The man looks at the judge and says, "Good, we all agree. So, when I put my money in a Coke machine and a Coke pops out, the Coke is mine. Not the Coke machines." An old lady goes to the bank to withdraw some money. She hands her bank card to the teller and says,
I would like to withdraw $20, please.
The teller tells her,
For withdrawals less than $100, please use the ATM.
The old lady asks why. The teller returns her bank card and irritably tells her,
These are the rules. Please leave if there is nothing else. There is a line of customers behind you.
The old lady remains silent for a few seconds, then hands her card back to the teller and says,
Please help me withdraw all the money I have.
The teller is astonished when she checks the account balance. She nods her head, leans down, and respectfully tells her,
You have $3 million in your account, but the bank doesn't have that much cash currently. Could you make an appointment and come back again tomorrow?
The old lady then asks how much she could withdraw immediately. The teller tells her any amount up to $10,000.
Well, please let me have $10,000 then,
says the old lady. The teller, with a kind smile, hands $10,000 to her. The old lady puts $20 in her purse and then says,
Now, please deposit this $9,980 back into my account.
It was a beautiful day outside, the kind of day that was perfect for celebrating a birthday. George woke up feeling excited about the day ahead, eager to see what surprises his family and colleagues had in store for him. He had always enjoyed his birthday, and he looked forward to spending the day surrounded by people who cared about him. George got ready for the day ahead and walked into the kitchen, expecting to be greeted by his family with warm hugs and birthday wishes. But to his surprise and disappointment, no one acknowledged his birthday at all. Not his wife, not his kids. George was taken aback by the silence, and he felt a knot form in his stomach. Trying to shake off the feeling of disappointment, George completed his morning routine and headed off to work. He had been working at the same office for many years, and he was looking forward to seeing his colleagues and sharing his special day with them. But as he sat down at his desk, he realized that no one had remembered his birthday. Not a single person had wished him a happy birthday, not even those he had worked with for many years. Just as he was about to give up hope, his manager, Brenda, called him into her office. George was surprised to hear her say, "Hi, George, happy birthday!" It was the first birthday wish he had received all day, and he was grateful for it. Brenda then offered to take him out for lunch, and George readily accepted. At the restaurant, they enjoyed a lovely lunch and shared many stories and laughs. George was grateful to have someone to share his special day with, especially after the way his morning had gone. As they finished their meal, Brenda asked George if he would like to come back to her place. George had always found Brenda attractive, and he was feeling vulnerable after the disappointments of the day, so he happily obliged. Once they had arrived at Brenda's apartment, she told George to make himself comfortable on the couch and said she would be back in a minute. When she returned, she had a big chocolate birthday cake and was accompanied by his wife, his kids, and all his colleagues. As he sat naked on her couch.